we're all artists and we're actors. We're not really these characters. We signed up to be. We're lucky to get anything, and we happen to get this together, and we share that, and so it's great to play these roles, and we're a part of it too. We get the scripts first, and we're entertained by the scripts, and it moves us, and then we do it, and they edit it, and it goes out to you guys. So it's all kind of a part of the process and a chain, and to see the end result and see it come back, it's very, very rare that you have the kind of fandom and that we have with the show, and we're really honored and we don't take it lightly. So meeting you guys is really awesome. It's more than us just coming out here on the road and signing some pictures. It's awesome to get a chance to say hi, hear your stories a little bit, and yeah, I think that's the best part of it, Ivan. Good question, buddy. Favorite part of filming?
Go ahead, Eugene. I guess I heard my name somewhere. Chosen said a fight scene. I love my fight scene. That's my favorite thing was the fight stuff. And like we were saying before, the fight choreographer, Don Lee, and the stunt coordinator, Ken Bearfield, they did a wonderful job in keeping us safe and training us up for all the fight stuff. So hats off to the stunt team because I think they're very underappreciated.
Here, I was going to say all of you guys, but I guess you have more fun doing your fights than hanging out with us.
That's it.
Sorry, Donnie, your character specifically really background. That's awesome. My real question, or my actual question, is for the students. If you guys got the opportunity or ever got the chance, would you take a role in a true class and give you guys Power Rangers? I know it's crazy, but I just thought it'd be cool, if you did, what color would you be? Thank you.
Red Ranger.
I've had a lot of people say that I would make a good Tommy Oliver, so I would go. It looks too nice.
Jacob would be a good Pink Ranger, I think.
I think being a Pink Ranger would be fun.
You could do your hair and everything.
Yeah, that's the Triceratops, the pterodactyl one. I forget. I don't know. I think what's the one from the future? Is that white or black? White? I don't know. I want to be the one from the future. I think that would be fun. Or the pink one. Yeah, or the pink one.
What would Pat Maria think about Cobra Kai?
I think he would be, overwhelmed with appreciation, gratitude, and pride. I think he's been shining down on this project from the get-go. We all kind of feel that way, and I got to give credit to the three writers, John, Josh, and Drayton. They promised me on that first meeting I was talking about that character would be woven through the series, and homage and respect would be paid throughout, and they followed through on that, and I think the show is all better for it, and we had storylines that we got to build upon that in his absence that still, created a relevance for his character going forward. So I think he'd be happy. I do.
My question is, what's your most favorite memory on set, but specifically compared to the OG cast? Was there a memory on Cobra Kai that brought back a memory from Karate with images like what it is?
I'll tell you what my favorite memory was. It was episode 10 of Season 5, when I had the opportunity to work with Billy and Yuji and Ralph. And, Mike Barnes and Chosen would never have crossed paths outside of Cobra Kai, so it was incredible. And You guys probably know this by now, but Eugene, Billy, and Ralph have really great comedic timing and chops. They're really, really funny. And for me, that was such a great scene to work with all three of those guys. We didn't have a lot of time to film it, so we kind of had to get it right pretty quickly, and it just sort of gelled together. And I thought it was really magic. I've known Billy since before I did Karate Kid 3. I met him when I was doing a television show called Werewolf, and I was fangirling myself. I gotta be honest, you know, because I was one of you guys. I mean, I was the guy that paid to buy a ticket to see the Karate Kid and the Karate Kid 2, and then there I am suddenly doing Karate Kid 3. So it was that for me was the most incredible part of doing Cobra Kai was that scene with you guys.
It's really, that was one of the times late in the series, so at the end of season 5, and for Daniel Russo in that scene, I felt it was one of the most Cobra Kai scenes I was ever in that I felt part of. Like I always was like running alongside the train of the Cobra Kai show, even though I was in it throughout. That scene I was sort of like really in the show with all three of these nemesis. And so it is one of my top 10 scenes of the whole series for me. So it took a while, but I really felt like I was in the show wholeheartedly in a funny kind of way as the voice of reason who was failing. It was fun.
Wax on, wax off.
Well done.
My question is, was there ever a time when you were concerned about your character's fate in Cobra Kai? Because when I recall...
Yeah, seasons 1 through 4 when I wasn't in it.
I can't remember whether it was season 2 or 3 where one character actually ended up in a coma.
Miguel. Off the stairs. Rail to the back. Robbie Keane. On the run. Evil boy.
I think Marty Cove, Kreese was probably a little worried when he almost died at the end of the show. Do you have any thoughts on that? Remember they almost killed you off?
Yeah, but you got. You know that after we blew up the boat, we did shoot another scene where I'm grabbing this magazine that says headline, whatever happened to Tony Silver.
With singed eyebrows, right?
Singed eyebrows and bleeding chest and everything. But they found the two husbands around as of I survived. The very next day, explosion on the boat. But we all always use about 6 seasons. Cobra Kai never dies and neither does John Cleese.
Cobra Kai season 7, Kreese is swimming underwater, ran with 2 white sharks.
That's it. Season 7 is John Cleese and some great white wood.
Johnny Roach water skis on top of Kreese.
That's it. We have plans.
Jumps the shark.
I think before even Cobra Kai, we were writing. We had the nerve to write a script that just gave you the first names of our characters.
Did anybody see the music video Sweep the Leg by chance? Okay, if you haven't seen Sweep the Leg, Google it. No More Kings, and right before Cobra Kai, we all did a video together, and it was us playing ourselves trapped as these characters. And the video was really funny online, and it was well received. And it really kind of planted the seed for all this, because all of a sudden after that video came out, we realized how many fans were out there that were, and online was a new thing. So we were kicking around ideas like, how can we make this into a movie? How can we extend it? And there was really no really good way in. So, and it's a good thing it didn't happen because when the guys got the rights to these characters, we got to play the actual characters now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Nick. You guys say I'm a big fan of all y'all's work. Now, to be fair, I did not get into Cobra Kai or the Karate Kid until a year ago. I was just kind of showing my room, kind of just started heading down that big Cobra Kai shop. And then I started thinking that whole thing. And this is actually a week before the final 5 episodes are about to come out. So I'm like, how long are we going to get 5 episodes? Guys said, great work. I love all you guys. Now, I got a question for Ralph and for William. Now, a few years before Cobra Kai, you actually did get to come back, kind of, on How I Met Your Mother. What was that kind of like? And also, Barney Stinson, in his words, William Zabka is the real professor.
And right, and just to qualify that, so Barney Stinson also thought Darth Vader was a hero, and Hans Gruber as well. So Barney Stinson, that's what made it funny. The funny thing is, for that episode, I know it was Barney's bachelor party, and from what I understand, before they came to me and Ralph, one of his other heroes was David Lee Roth from Van Halen, and they tried to get David Lee Roth to come to the bar, but he was in like Japan and he didn't want to do it, so thankfully they didn't do David Lee Roth not doing the show. And then they called and they said, hey, I think Barney had a couple cardboard cutouts of me, John, in his closet in the previous seasons. They called me and through my agents and said, they wanted me to come on the show. Without reading anything, I said, of course I'll do it. Ralph sent it too. I said, great. So they sent me a script. I don't know, did anybody see the first, the How I Met Your Mother where I play a clown? So I get the script and I'm reading it, there's Ralph on every other page, and then it's a clown and a clown and a clown and Ralph and a clown and Barney. And I'm like, where am I? And then at the very, very end, I'm the clown. And so I have nothing to say the entire episode. I'm like doing honks and all this funny thing. And I'm like, well, that's a safe way to bring you back to television. Don't really have any lines. Except for the very last bit where I reveal myself to Barney that I've been the clown at his bachelor party all the time. And I had one time to get that right. But it was super fun. That show, what a great cast. And they were so welcoming. Leo and Jason and Cody and everybody. We really just felt right at home. And it was the first time Ralph and I got to do a version of our stuff, and we had a great time.
It was great. It was a great cast. It was a perfect. So many people ask, was that the origin of the Cobra Kai series, or was that where the idea came from? And the guys who wrote Cobra Kai say no, it wasn't, and they were always talking about it for years prior to that. They just didn't know how to do it, but it certainly didn't hurt. Is my theory. It was a good segue forward. Rapid fire.
It was incredible. Thank you.
Well said. It was, there were different characters. The same characters were different but same. To use Miyagi-ism, because so much life had happened from when we saw them in the movies, in the 80s movies. So it was kind of familiar yet fresh and new, and exploring conflicts with different characters and chemistry with different characters was, exciting. Chosen Mike Barnes and Bill and I first seen together. It was, there was something built in that I wasn't even expecting. That was better than expected from my perspective.
The other thing that affected me was that I wanted, we talked about this a lot in other panels, I wanted the character to...
They won't allow it. They won't allow it.
God, it's so Elizabeth, right? Yeah, I wanted the character to be more vulnerable. I didn't want to play him as I did in the movies. So I did it where I took 1, 2, 3, it was really tough and really difficult. And I wanted to play vulnerable so you get a sense that the character is misunderstood. He's not a villain. And they were able to do it with flashbacks and then they redeemed him at the end. It was very satisfying for me as an actor that they were able to do that all the way through. And it made my relationship with the others much easier because he was more pliable as he came.
It's not very often as an actor you get a chance to get another bite at the apple 35 or 40 years later to reprise a character. And the big three, in their infinite brilliance, really paid attention to having evolution for each of the characters, so that we weren't just in a retread of who these characters were in the original movies. And I think that growth brought humanity to the characters and made them compelling once again. So for me, that was one of the things I loved the best about it was I got to play, like Marty said, a redemption arc, and we saw evolution in Mike Barnes instead of being this kind of unidimensional thug that he was throughout the group.
I'm just glad not to be called a-hole anymore.
Actually, I think that's great for the three of us because since then we've been the heels, the bad guys, I mean, I lived with that for decades. I know you did. You didn't know. We were like the, Daniel Russo kicked all our butts, and you all jumped up for joy. So, I mean, it really is truly like amazing to have, to have characters be written for you in a way that you can see the other side and get the other dimension and time and all that. It's really satisfying, I think, probably for all of us that, after that there's a little button on the end of this as far as who these guys were, and it's, they're more good guys, and not all bad guys. So, all right, let's try to do this really fast so we get to everybody. Go.
I'm so sorry, but we do also have a quick surprise after this question. So, okay, hi. The show is already so great, but my question is, if you had to change one thing about it, what would you change?
Robbie wins the Psych Attack. I would have had like a night out drinking with Chosen and Hawk. I think that would have been such a good bottle episode. Yeah, it almost happened. I think that would have been cool to see their backstory. Why are they friends?
Kicked it down hard.
And I always, not playing on the somber note, but I've always wished we had a chance to see Daniel Russo visit his own father's gravesite, go back to New Jersey. That's a moment we were never able to sort of pull off on the show. But so we'll do that in the future.
That's right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's it for the questions. We're told that the video works, so we're going to end it on that note.
Second chance.
No, everybody. I'm solo.
Hey everyone. I'm here today.
The audio still works, but you know what? We tried.
It's a comedy. The show's a
At
comedy.
least end it with him on the screen, okay?
Everyone admire his jawline.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. We'll see you later. Have fun at the show. No mercy, but quiet.